wait, does this microphone work? Does this microphone works, right? Yeah? Okay, good. Okay. Hi. Hi. My name is Bella, and today I'm going to talk about autism representation in media and how it can be better. Okay? So, autism. About 0.6% of people in Indonesia are diagnosed with autism. Now, that may not seem like a lot, right? But when you think about it, getting a diagnosis is really difficult, especially with limited resources and economic disparity. Even in developed areas like ours, we still struggle to find the right specialist for our little brother. So I can't even imagine how difficult it would be for others. Wait. Let's rewind. What is autism? According to according to medical resources, autism is a neurodevelopmental disorder that is characterized by difficulty socializing, maintaining interpersonal relationships, and restricted interests. Experience may vary from individual to individual, making it a spectrum disorder. But what does that mean? Now, let's get this straight. Autism is not a cognitive disorder. The struggles that autistic people face surround social emotional development, not cognitive development. So basically, it's how they interact, not how they think. But what social difficulties am I talking about? Autistic people struggle to understand the social conventions that we do, like facial expressions, body language, and other things that we use to communicate words. Which brings me to my next point. Maintaining social interactions is very difficult because the basis of social interaction does not accommodate for autistic people's needs. So what do autistic people do to accommodate for this challenge? They do this thing called masking, where they hide who they truly are because nobody will understand who they are on the inside. But not all of these symptoms present themselves in the same way. We all learned about this line from not very autistic to very autistic. But actually, autism is more like a color wheel full of different experiences at different severities. And I feel that it's important to acknowledge that to make sure that everybody gets adequate treatment. Okay, now we can get back to the story. You know, the one with my little brother. When my little brother was diagnosed, he had these symptoms. He couldn't look in our eye. He couldn't speak. He couldn't even dance or anything. But when we talked to other people, they didn't believe us. They told us to pray or to pay more attention to him. We decided not to do that. And after about a year of treating him, he has become far more than we have ever anticipated. He is incredibly intelligent, with a love for puzzles and music, and he's actually quite extroverted. But even after all of that, nobody believed in us. Why? Because he didn't fit the bill of the autistic little boy. But I think I know why it's so difficult to understand. Now, when we learn through the media. It presents what's around us. Oh, usually they're regional, and I tried finding Indonesian material. We could forget about that. I couldn't find any. So we're traveling to America. Now, there's not a lot of representation of autism even in America, but we all know about series like Rain Man or The Good Doctor, where the main characters are autistic. But let's examine these characters a little closer. I just want to say that I appreciate that they displayed the autistic person's strengths. They really made it apparent. It's a big highlight in the show and the character itself. But there's the problem. It's their only highlight. Their savant-like skills are their character, if you get what I'm saying. They, as a character and an extension, an autistic person, is hidden by their savant like skills, right? So it's like their autistic experiences have to be compensated for by their skills. But there's got to be a better way, right? Right, we know that. So I propose a new solution. Okay, let's take Dr. Sean from, what do you call it? The Good Doctor. We all know him. He's a socially awkward, very timid guy, but he can literally see through other people's body parts. That's why they keep him. He doesn't really develop in the show. He's the same person beginning. But instead of that, why don't we make Dr. Sean this normal autistic guy who's trying his best in the medical field and develops his skill over time in the show? Wouldn't you want to root for him? You want to root for him, right? Wouldn't that sound like a more compelling character and by extension, the representation of an autistic person? So, in conclusion, when we learn from the media. And people like my brother, they need representation of people like him so he can live in a future where people can accept him for who he is. So other children just like him or different from him can be accepted for who they truly are. And if we want that, it starts with the media. Thank you for listening to my talk.